First of all, I would like to thank you all, thank you for this award, and for everyone gathered here today to honor us. And a special thank you to Ms. Erickson for being here. She's just a wonderful person. As she said, she was my advisor for all 4 years, and it's really been wonderful knowing her for all 4. And I'm just happy to have her here. I'm fortunate enough to have surrounded myself with a good group of friends that I love and that I trust. These are the same friends that I can go to talk about anything, whether it be good or bad. However, this wasn't always the case. Before I started my time at Del Lago, I was afraid. All of my friends from middle school were going to different high schools all across the city, none of which were Del Lago. I would be starting a new, unfamiliar environment, unfamiliar people, and I was afraid. Fast forward a couple months, I'm in my freshman year of high school. No friends, nothing but a few semi-familiar faces that I talked to maybe once or twice in passing. I was afraid. I kept to myself. In class, I would only talk if someone else struck conversation first. Every day during lunch, I would eat alone in the quad. I was alone and I was afraid. Then, one day, out of the blue, I made my first friend. He had been in my classes, and we had talked a few times before. We became very good friends in such a short amount of time. A couple of weeks later, 2 other kids from our class had seen us sitting in our usual spot underneath some of the stairs outside of the cafeteria, and they invited us to go sit with them. At first, I was afraid that they wouldn't like me, that they wouldn't want to hang out with me again after that. But day after day and week after week, we remained friends. And this marked a new beginning for me, a beginning where I was no longer afraid. This was a major step that helped me come out of my comfort zone. In my second semester, I started joining new clubs, most of which my friends were already in, math club and advocating for our tomorrow. But what I think is the most important one that I joined was ASB. I didn't know it then, but it would be one of the greatest choices in my high school career. Jump over to sophomore year, and I have so many more friends. I have a group where I fit in. I remember I would keep thinking, me just 1 year ago would not believe that I was where I was. I was still in the clubs I had joined the year prior, and even joined a few more, Key Club and Disney Club. At this point, I felt incredible. I had developed from the shy and antisocial person that I was just a year ago. I decided to take another step out of my comfort zone, and I ran for 11th grade class representative. Look ahead again now into junior year. This was a very rough year for me. One of my friends and I had a falling out. Due to this and a few other circumstances, my friend group started to split. Once again, I was afraid, but I yet persevered. I had won the position of 11th grade class representative, and I became a group leader in ASB. I joined Link Crew in hopes that I could help other freshmen find where they belong so that they wouldn't start school like I did. And best of all, I still had my closest friends with me. Now I'm here, in my senior year. The start of this year was still a bit of a rough patch. I decided to leave ASB after 3 years. It just wasn't something that I enjoyed anymore. I thought I was done with it. Right after I told the ASB advisor that I wanted to quit, he said something that has stuck with me ever since. He said, "More people look up to you than you think." I went a few weeks with his voice resonating in my head. I thought, why am I leaving? Why now? If I have helped as much as he says I have, why am I doing this? I realized that I could have a much larger impact in ASB than I would out of it. I could help all those younger Simons that felt like they didn't fit in. So then I joined ASB once again. Now that I'm finishing my time at Del Lago and getting ready to go off to college, I'm once again afraid. I'll be starting anew again, in an unfamiliar environment with unfamiliar faces. But I have already conquered that fear once, and I know that if I did it once, I can do it again. And though that fear is still lingering, I'm also very excited to see what this new chapter brings. Thank you.
Good job.